Hi everyone, welcome to 𝗲𝗵𝗻 and we are discussing CVS and blood infections. So this is our 11th class and we are going to start with the Ebola virus. Okay. My dear children, Ebola virus is very important when it comes to bloodstream infections, but since the outbreaks are very less nowadays, that's why this is not given so much importance. Okay. Coming on to the Ebola virus, please remember, Ebola virus belongs to filovirus. Okay, filoviruses. It belongs to filoviruses, and in our general virology video number 11, okay, I have told you about the viruses in detail. Okay, so you have to go there. You have to see where the filoviruses is coming. Although the summary I have written here that these are enveloped viruses, these are negative sense viruses, single stranded viruses, RNA viruses with helical capsid. Okay, so this is the filoviruses in detail. Okay, and filoviruses have got two examples, Ebola and Marburg, but Marburg is not important. Ebola virus is important, and I have told you about the Ebola. Okay, now see, very important thing, entirely the filovirus is responsible for causing the acute hemorrhagic fever. Now let us understand about the Ebola in detail. First of all, Ebola virus is transmitted with the infected body fluids. Now you can understand this is a serious infection, this is a bloodstream infection, and because it is a bloodstream infection, my dear friends, this has a very high transmission with the help of infected body fluids. Then fomites, for example, on infected cadavers, fomites can transmit the infection, and from the wild animals also, just like chimpanzees, just like bats, it has got a transmission. Even the aerosols can transmit the infection. Okay, so can you see here, the animals can do that, the aerosols can do that, the body fluid can do that. Okay, so A, B I have written, and from this fluid F word you can remember the fomites. So A, B and then fomites. Okay, coming on to incubation period, Ebola. Can you see 5 letters? So Ebola has 5 to 7 days of incubation period. And what are the first cell? The macrophages are the first cell and the dendritic cells are the first cell which are infected by Ebola virus. Okay, so see here, I have told you macrophage. So I am writing it here, MACROPHAGE. So it has got 10 letter, and Ebola virus in total have got 10 letter. So macrophage is the first one to get infected, and obviously the dendritic cell also. What are the risk factors? See, some countries like Africa have got higher outbreaks of Ebola viruses, or some laboratory accidents can also work as a risk factor for this. Okay, so how the patients are going to present, what are going to be the clinical features? So remember, there will be fever, a high grade fever greater than 101.5 degree Fahrenheit. Other will be chills, malaise. Okay, one thing important, the cough is non-productive in Ebola. It is not a productive cough. It does not have a sputum. Okay, and sometimes you can have bradycardia also with this. Also, the most important point, which is of a major importance, that Ebola viruses has got a coagulation defect. Okay, it has got a coagulation defect. This is important, and because the coagulation is hampered, the patients present to us with the conjunctival hemorrhages, they can present to us with difficulty to clot after the venipuncture, and there will be very important, there will be intravascular volume depletion. Because the bleeding is not stopping, there will be volume depletion, and once there is volume depletion, there will be impaired oxygen delivery, and because the oxygen delivery is impaired, the cases can be fatal also. The cases can be fatal also. Okay, so that's why it becomes very important to diagnose Ebola. The diagnosis of Ebola is RT-PCR based, And on RT-PCR, if you're finding Ebola, you have to start the treatment immediately, give the antivirals, do the supportive management, and the Ebola can be treated. Thank you so much for watching this short little session, and I hope that things are making sense to you. Please make sure that you watch general virology, because general virology is the basis of all the viruses which we are discussing in detail. God bless you and thank you so much.